Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Sense and Sensitivity. I hope you're all doing well this busy holiday season. I wanted to, or I'll just address that I'm getting over a cold. So if my voice sounds funny, that's why. But I wanted to talk today about some things besides skincare that can help and potentially harm your rosacea. Some of these things I've talked about before, some I haven't, and I wanted to just put them all in one place. So hopefully you find this helpful. And I keep it short and to the point. So number one is diet, nutrition, and digestion. This kind of relates to finding your food triggers, but it's the bigger picture of your digestion. So if you have a lot of bloating, stomach cramping when you eat, a lot of things don't seem to sit well, your bathroom habits are not optimal, all those kinds of things can indicate an underlying digestive issue. And chances are, if you're struggling with rosacea or another skin condition and you're feeling some of those digestive symptoms, they are connected. And so getting to the root, diagnosing and treating your digestive system, getting it working optimally, whether that's finding your food intolerances or healing the gut lining, intestinal lining, things like that, can really, really help your overall state of being and also your skin. And that might mean seeing a GI doctor, acupuncturist, naturopath, multiple different people, which is what I did, but really, really important. So, check in with yourself about your food habits. And then just overall nutrition. I don't think there's one right, perfect diet for everybody, but of course there are certain things we should not be doing frequently, fast food, soda, etc. And I think overall thinking like anti-inflammatory, since this is an inflammatory condition, eating an anti-inflammatory diet, which can include, lots of greens, fresh vegetables and fruits, things like that, can be a good place to start. Okay, number 2, acupuncture. So I have done acupuncture for a long time for overall health as well as emotional health, and I love it. It works remarkably well for me. But I also use it for digestive issues, but I've also used it cosmetic acupuncture a few times where my acupuncturist put needles into my face when I was having significant redness and frequent flare-ups to help draw some of the redness out. And I was really, really nervous about doing it because I didn't know how I would react and if I'd have big marks from the needles or anything. But I finally did it, and I tried it only a few times, but I actually did have really, really good results from that. In that after the treatment, the redness was way down, my skin felt calmer, less heat. So that can be something to look into if you are curious about acupuncture. Okay, that's number 2, acupuncture. Number 3 is stress management. This might mean yoga, meditation, taking walks. Stress is really detrimental to our health and well-being. I think we probably all know this. And the world we live in is very stressful. Jobs, finances, family, environmental stressors, pollution, not good quality water, not good quality food. There are so many things. And, I need to practice what I preach more with this, but I know that in the past, when I was practicing yoga more regularly, it really did have an effect on my skin. My skin was much calmer, much clearer, more resilient. And something I'm trying to get into a little bit more now, my life is extremely busy with 2 little babies, but it's just like intention setting, short bits of mindfulness, deep breathing. I can even do it when I'm laying down before bed and setting intentions or mantras about feeling calm, feeling grounded, even as specific as, my skin is calm, things like that. I think it's worth a try, So, finding ways to manage your stress, whatever that can look like for you, I think can be really helpful, and it's not talked about that much. All right, so those are my top ones. Now, In addition to that, additional alternative treatments or things that are not skincare, there are lasers. Now, this is something that I'm curious about and maybe one day will pursue, but there are lasers to get rid of redness, to diminish the sign of broken blood vessels, things like that. So that I'm considering an alternative treatment because it's not your daily skincare practices, that for a lot of people significantly helps their rosacea, their flare-ups, and just like the overall look and tone of the skin. And the last one and that's something, I'm curious about and maybe one day I will pursue, especially for my broken capillaries. The last thing I want to touch on is facials, because facials are interesting, right? They're talked about a lot. I remember as a teen, the idea of a facial seemed so fancy and luxurious. Like celebrities were always talking about them in magazines and stuff like that. I've never had a facial. To be honest, I've always been too scared, since I've always had sensitive skin, of somebody messing it up, not doing something right and making it even worse. And that fear has kept me from doing ever getting a facial. But I know about facials and I know what happens in them. And I think you need to be extremely, extremely careful if you are going to get a facial, meaning you need to do it with the right professional. You need to talk ahead of time about your skin condition and have they worked with people with rosacea and what are their processes. Because 1, you don't want to do extractions. 2, you don't want to do any steaming and overheating of your skin. And then also, I don't think, and I've heard dermatologists on YouTube say this too, it's not a good idea to go to a facialist where you're not already using those skincare products. So in a facial, they're going to cleanse your skin. They're going to do probably multiple masks, maybe some sort of exfoliation. So now you're talking, and then moisturize you. 5, 6 products, each one with multiple ingredients. If you've never used any of those, that is a recipe potentially for disaster for your skin. So if you love facials, or you loved them in the past and haven't had any since you've developed rosacea, I would recommend finding a facialist you can trust. And also, one thing to help guide you can be finding somebody who uses the products you use. For example, there are some facialists who use Blissoma products. There are some facialists who do facials specifically using the Marie Veronique Christina Holy unscented line. If you are using those products already, going to a facialist who's using them might be a really good thing, because they're going to kind of be somebody who's targeted towards sensitive skin and stuff like that. But otherwise, I would be extremely cautious. I'm curious if any of you do get facials and what your experience is. And if you do the steam, extractions, or any of that stuff, comment below, let me know. I hope you found this video useful. I will be back with more content, so stay tuned and happy holidays. Bye for now.